Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down the genuinely fascinating insights from Dr. Jason Fung's The Obesity Code. Seriously, get ready, because the information we're covering is going to fundamentally shift how you understand weight loss, human metabolism, and, honestly, your own body.
Okay, let's dive right into a pretty provocative question. For decades, the dominant message has been that to lose weight, you just need to eat less and move more, right? But what if that entire premise is scientifically backwards? If you've ever struggled with your weight and felt like it was ultimately your fault, like a lack of willpower or discipline, well, the source material we're looking at today proves it absolutely is not.
Over the next few minutes, we'll walk through exactly how this works in 6 steps. First, the calorie counting myth. Second, the hormone theory. Third, understanding insulin resistance. Fourth, the fructose problem. Fifth, the power of fasting. And finally, the Obesity Code diet.
Let's jump right in with part 1, the calorie counting myth. It is well past time to dismantle the unspoken judgment that obesity is some kind of character defect. The old assumption roots weight gain in 2 main sins, gluttony and sloth. But let's just look at basic biology for a second. Think about puberty. Young men naturally start eating far more calories than young women, yet women naturally develop a higher body fat percentage. Or think about pregnancy. That causes significant weight gain. These women aren't suddenly becoming gluttonous or lazy. Their biology is actively altering their body composition through hormones.
And this actually brings us to why restricting calories fails long-term. Dr. Fung uses this brilliant coal plant analogy. Imagine your body is a power plant that normally burns 2,000 tons of coal a day. If you suddenly restrict your fuel, say cutting your intake down to 1,500, the plant manager doesn't just keep burning 2,000 tons until the plant runs out of energy and shuts down. No, the manager smartly slows down the burn rate to match the 1,500 tons coming in. When you cut calories, your body just decreases its metabolic rate so you don't run out of fuel and, die.
To definitively prove this metabolic adaptation, we can look at the massive Women's Health Initiative study. This study tracked 40,000 women over an incredible 10-year period. They were divided into groups with high, medium, and low levels of exercise. And the results? After a full decade, there was literally 0 long-term weight difference among the groups. The body simply adapts to conserve energy.
So if it's not calories, what's actually controlling our weight? That brings us to part 2, the hormone theory.
The crucial point here is that obesity isn't caused by excess calories, but by a body set weight that has been set too high due to a hormonal imbalance. Think of it exactly like the thermostat in your living room. If the room gets too cold, the heat automatically kicks on. If your body dips below its set weight, your hormones make you hungry and slow your metabolism down to bring the weight right back up.
This is a total paradigm shift. The caloric view assumes you have conscious control over your eating and that a calorie is just a calorie. But the hormonal reality proves that calories in and calories out are tightly synced. Your basal metabolic rate automatically adjusts, your hunger is driven entirely by hormone signals, your fat stores are heavily regulated, and get this, different calories trigger completely different metabolic responses in your body.
Now, when we talk about these metabolic responses, there are 2 major hormonal villains driving weight gain: insulin and cortisol. Dr. Fung notes that he could easily make absolutely anyone fat simply by injecting them with insulin or a cortisol variant like prednisone. It doesn't matter how much willpower you have, when these 2 specific hormones go up, weight gain and increased fat storage are a documented biological certainty.
Which leads us perfectly into part 3, understanding insulin resistance.
This breakdown in the body is called insulin resistance. Normally, insulin acts like a key, unlocking your cells to let blood sugar, or glucose, inside so it can be used for energy. When patients hit blood glucose levels above 126 milligrams per deciliter, or an A1C over 6.5%, they are officially diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. But the underlying hidden mechanism, the insulin resistance itself, actually starts happening much, much earlier.
A landmark 1993 study demonstrated this elegant but totally vicious cycle. Because the cells resist the insulin, glucose backs up in the blood. Then the pancreas panics and secretes extra insulin to force the blood sugar down. And while pumping out more insulin might temporarily control the blood sugar, that chronically high insulin itself actually causes further insulin resistance. The higher your insulin, the higher your body's weight thermostat gets set.
So what is driving this massive epidemic in the first place? Part 4, the fructose problem.
The answer lies heavily in fructose. While ordinary table sugar is made up of half glucose and half fructose, the standard American diet has absolutely exploded with cheap, highly refined, high fructose corn syrup. This stuff is now pumped into thousands of processed foods and beverages. The crucial takeaway here is how your body processes this specific sugar. Unlike glucose, which any cell in your body can use for energy, fructose metabolizes exclusively in your liver. A shocking 2009 study showed healthy volunteers developing insulin resistance in just 6 days of high fructose intake. And within exactly 8 weeks, they had developed prediabetes. The fructose basically packs directly into the liver as fat, leading straight to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease.
To put that into perspective, historically, humans eating natural fruit consumed about 15 to 20 grams of fructose a day. But today, largely thanks to sugary sodas and processed snacks, kids are consuming a staggering 73 grams of fructose daily. We are completely, literally overloading our livers with fat on a daily basis.
So how do we actually fix this? That brings us to part 5, the power of fasting. First, we have to acknowledge a tragic cultural shift in our eating schedules. In 1977, a survey of 60,000 adults and kids showed that people simply ate 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner. That's it. No snacks. Today, we've shifted to chronic all-day snacking. Because we snack continuously, we never allow our blood glucose or our insulin levels to return to a baseline. Our insulin is just constantly elevated, constantly driving obesity.
And this is where intermittent fasting comes in as a real game changer. Dr. Fung's practical fasting guides, like his 24 and 36-hour protocols, are absolutely not about starving yourself. They are an age-old method of simply training your body to stop eating long enough for your insulin levels to finally drop. When insulin drops, your body actually switches from storing fat to burning its stored energy, clearing out that liver fat in the process.
Finally, Part 6, the Obesity Code diet.
To complement the fasting, Dr. Fung lays out 5 actionable rules. Step 1 and 2, reduce added sugars and refined grains like wheat flour. Step 3, moderate your protein. Step 4, increase natural, unprocessed fats. Think olive oil, avocados, and nuts. And Step 5, increase protective factors like fiber, vinegar, and fermented foods. Together, these keep your insulin low and fuel your body correctly without triggering heavy fat storage. Keep in mind, there are really only 3 dials on your dietary dashboard: fat, carbohydrates, and protein. This approach fundamentally turns down the carbohydrates while turning up the whole, unprocessed fats and proteins. Doing this ensures your hormones actually work for you, not against you. Hormones like ghrelin, which signals hunger, and leptin, which signals that you are full, will finally communicate properly when you fuel up on healthy fats and proteins instead of refined carbs. I want to leave you with a final thought to really challenge your daily habits. Remember, the source material we've explored today proves that your weight is a hormonal balancing act. It is not a character flaw. It's not about gluttony or sloth. It's about insulin. So, if continuous snacking is locking away your fat stores, what's stopping you from skipping your next snack? You actually have the biological power to fix this, simply by changing when and what you eat.